The first of the 10 tricks we're gonna learn today, guys, is pop. It's the most important. You're gonna need to have a good pop for everything. First of all, what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump as if we almost normally do on flat ground. We're not gonna bend all the way down, but a slight bend in the knees is good so you get that power and lift. You're gonna pop up and land back down. You wanna keep a nice wide stance, and when you pop up off the ground, you push through your heels and your toes. When you land, 4-point motorcycle landing. Once you're comfortable doing on flat ground, find a nice mellow pitch like this and add your pop while you're moving slowly. Just like that, and then you can work your way up to rollers, jumps, and rails. Here's where things start to get fun. Number 2 is the ollie. So very similar to the pop, we're gonna wanna get some air time, but we're gonna take off the tails of our skis. So we're gonna lean back, put weight on the back of our skis, and then jump up and forward, using that momentum and that little bit of spring from the tails to get that height. Now we gotta put it to the test. So we're gonna find a nice roller like this. We're gonna come in slow, lean on the back of our skis, and then pop forward. All right, number 3, guys, we're getting into the fun stuff now. Straight air, so you can do it off a roller, or you can pick a really small jump in the park like this one we got right down here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we have nice, strong forward shin pressure. So our shins are tight against the front of our boots. We're not leaning super far forward, but we're also not taking off back seat. We don't wanna be leaning this far back. We wanna be nice, strong, wide stance, knees shoulder width apart. All right, so now that we have got comfortable hitting the jump, we're gonna add step 1, add a little bit of pop. This is where the fundamentals come into play, but it's really good to make sure you have a nice pop off a jump. All right, so you guys can see when I apply pop how much more height I actually get off the jump. When you take it to bigger jumps like this and bigger features in the park, it's really important to get the big tricks around, the big spins, and all that other good stuff. All right, so shifty is probably one of the most fun ones, and you guys have probably seen it all over the mountain. It's really easy to learn. Basically, what we're doing is we're twisting our skis one way, we're counter-rotating with our upper body the other way to pull them back. If I do it on flat ground, which you guys are gonna practice first, you're gonna get a nice stance, you're gonna twist your hips and twist your shoulders the opposite way. And then we're gonna twist back. Then what we're gonna do to practice next is we're gonna hop and we're gonna land fully on that 45-degree angle. Now that we're comfortable with that movement on flat ground, we've got our pop, we've hit a jump, we're ready to take this to an actual jump and a feature in the park. Next, we're gonna learn my favorite thing in skiing, which is grabs. For this step, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to grab our skis, quite clearly. The easiest grab to do right off the bat is a safety grab. It's where you reach down and you grab the bottom of your ski with that same hand. So to start off, we would ideally learn this on trampoline. It's a great way to practice before taking it to snow, just to get comfortable in the air. However, if you don't have a trampoline, what you can do to start learning this on snow right now is just when you jump and you're in the air, bringing your knees to your chest. You don't have to reach down for the grab yet. But once you get comfortable bringing your knees to your chest, then the grab is going to be relatively right there. So do that a couple times and then you can start going for the grab. If you want help with your park skiing, go check out slopeacademy.com in the description. It's where I do all our coaching. Right now we have a 3-month sale for the spring, 50% off. Go check it out in the bio. I'll see you guys there. Trick number 6 is a really fun one. If you've ever seen that guy going down the hill just doing tornado spins, well, this is what you're going to learn. So basically, doing flat ground spins is all about edge control and transferring the weight in your edges. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna start to carve. And when we do that, we wanna shift all the weight onto our inside edges so that we don't catch. If we leave it on the outside edges, we're gonna catch and fall over. So shift it to the inside, we're gonna spin around to switch or to backwards. And then once we get here, we can't keep our weight on this side, otherwise we're gonna catch. So we're gonna shift it back the other way. And we're gonna go all the way around to forwards, just like that. And then obviously you're gonna need a bit more of a pitch to do it on. Doing it on flat ground is gonna be a little bit hard. So now that we have a bit more of a pitch, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna ease our way and do it slowly. It doesn't have to be a scary trick. It's actually really easy. Just like you carve, we're gonna carve to here. We're gonna get backwards. We're gonna shift our weight the other way and carve back around like that. And then obviously as you keep going and you do it on the faster, steeper pitches, you can make it look a little bit cooler than that, but that's a really good, easy way to start with it. All right, for trick number 7, we're gonna learn switch skiing or skiing backwards, depending on what you wanna call it. Common mistake most people make is they have a wide stance and they pizza like this, going backwards down the hill. If you look at where I'm standing right now in my vision, I can't see behind me very well. I can only see about this far. So what we're gonna wanna do for proper technique is we're gonna wanna stagger our stance, which means moving our feet 1 foot behind the other, 1 foot in front. This allows me to open my shoulders more and look behind me fully. Right now, I can see everything behind me, whereas before I could only see to here. I can also carve and turn on these edges. Ideally, you want to put your skis together, and really open those shoulders. This is gonna come with practice and a lot of time spent switch skiing. So we're gonna find a nice unpopulated area of a ski hill. Obviously you don't wanna do this on the busiest run because you don't wanna be that guy, and I'll be mad at you if you were that guy. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by practicing our switch skiing, going parallel across the hill so you don't pick up too much speed, it's not too scary. I'm gonna come to my nice stop, gonna look over my shoulder, stagger my feet a little bit, and I'm just gonna go like this, just to get comfortable with that position. When you're practicing going parallel across the hill, make sure you practice going over both shoulders. Once you're comfortable with that, we're gonna take it to a wider run, and we're gonna do nice, big, slow turns looking over both shoulders, which is gonna look like this. We're gonna transition our weight to the other shoulder, look over the other shoulder, transition our weight back, look over the other shoulder, and just go down the mountain like that until you're more comfortable, and obviously you can tighten up the turns and go a bit faster. If you guys are wondering what the ski hill is, it's called Maximize. It's in Quebec. It's an amazing place for learning your park skills with beginner features all the way up to advanced features like these big jumps behind me with rope toe laps, super fast. You get tons of training in. All right guys, so the next trick we're gonna learn is 180. It's probably the first spin trick you're gonna do on skis. It's really good because you can do it off small features like rollers or small jumps as well. So what we're gonna learn first, guys, is we're gonna learn how to do it on flat ground like this here. You're gonna wanna jump and pop like you normally would, and you're gonna rotate your hips, your shoulders, and your head all together at once. It's gonna look like this. And ideally, when you're first learning, you're gonna wanna keep your head spinning and you're gonna wanna look uphill. If you can't get fully around 180 with your skis on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our skis off and we're gonna practice it just on flat ground. You can also do this non-ski boots, it's gonna make it a bit easier as well. But we're gonna bend our knees, set hips, shoulders, head, and rotate. Obviously with the extra swing weight gone, it's gonna be much easier. Then when you take it to jump, obviously you're gonna have that extra air time that's gonna make you be able to get it around. So for a lot of people beginning, doing their first 180, it can be scary to actually get the rotation around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a spot up the landing. And when I do my 180, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna spot for that area. So I'm gonna keep my head turning and I'm gonna land looking up the hill where I came from. It's gonna be really beneficial when you're first getting the rotation around. Obviously, when we get better, we're gonna wanna pop and we're gonna wanna rotate hips, body, shoulder, all together. And we're gonna wanna land looking at the landing still with just our head. All right, trick number 9, time to have some fun, guys. We're gonna hit our first box rail, our first rail feature in the park. Obviously, the wider, the bigger, the lower to the ground the box is, the easier it's gonna be for you to begin. But it's very, very simple. It's just like you're skiing down the hill normally. You're gonna wanna have your feet shoulder width apart, even weight on both bases, nice forward shin pressure, and you're gonna just simply ride on and ride off the box. If you guys make the mistake of putting too much weight on your edges or leaning one way instead of staying flat base, you're likely gonna slip out. Once you're comfortable hitting the box, you can take a bit more speed, and you guys can start to pop off the end. The last one we're gonna learn today, guys, is how to shifty on a box. Now that we got our straight grinds on the box dialed in, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on, just like we normally would, flat bases, and we're gonna twist our hips. We're just gonna twist our hips, and we're gonna counter twist our shoulders. Same as a shifty on the jump, but on the box. This is a nice intro for how to grind a box sideways, how to grind a rail sideways, and hop on properly, but it's also very safe. So we hop on the box, we're flat based, we twist our hips one way, and we counter twist our shoulders the other way, while looking straight ahead at the end of the box. Then we twist back, obviously, as we get to the end or coming off the end of the box. It's super important that when you guys shifty, you keep even weight and keep that forward shin pressure, otherwise you will slip out of the box. If your feet are too close together, you're leaning back too much, you're gonna slip out. And that's the first 10 tricks to learn on skis. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Many more to come. That's it, deuces.